Podcast here. 523, blaze it. That's a new catchphrase. The date followed by blaze it. Doesn't matter what the date is. But this is Press X, the podcast. It's a podcast about video games. Thank you very much for showing up. My name is Paul. Alongside me, James and Rhett. How you doing there, boys?
Oh man, so good. I had a little vacation. I came back refreshed and relaxed and ready to take on the day and, get in there and fuck it up proper. And
Sick.
yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Fuck it up proper. All right.
Yeah.
What?
Play some video games.
Okay. Does that mean play video games, or does it mean other things also?
I mean, it's a flexible turn of phrase. If you want to apply it to other areas of your life besides this one, you are absolutely free to do so.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Rhett, how do you feel about that statement?
Good, man. I'm blazed and ready to raise.
Okay, excellent. Great. All right, we're checking in.
Yeah.
We're locked on. We're ready to fire. Fucking I bet I could get a couple more in there before the end. Just nonsense turns of phrase that mean that things are good.
What did
Yeah.
you say? 523 blaze it?
523 blaze it.
Yeah, it's May 23rd.
Oh, right.
Well, that could be confusing because we did have probably an episode 523.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll workshop that. Try it again next time. See if it works.
I'm just so high. I don't know what's what these days.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
video games
because you've been
lifted
living
us.
living that 523 blaze it lifestyle, Rat. I think there's another number. I can't remember it. It's not important. To me, it's always been 523 blaze it.
You guys are lucky to even have me here tonight. I've been out celebrating. I haven't been home since the Canucks got eliminated. I've been celebrating nonstop. It's been a bender. And I just made it through the door, just barely in time for this one. So
The party's just raging across the world. I've heard.
what a time to be alive.
Yeah,
Everybody's-
they had no gas. They had nothing left.
Thank God.
What do you got against the Canucks?
Dude, I fucking hate their fucking stupid fucking fan base, man. Jesus Christ. I
Oh, okay.
fucking hate
That's fair.
the most fair weather fans in all of sports. It's unfucking believable.
It's true.
Okay.
Plus 2 riots to their name. Like, what the hell is that?
Two
Yeah,
riots. When was the second
that's-
one?
Show some fucking class. You
What?
you rioted when you lost in 94, and you rioted in 2011.
Was there one in 94? That's interesting. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't live here then, so
Yeah, they did.
wow.
That's a fun little bit of history.
It's fucking disgraceful.
I also only knew about the one riot.
Yeah. You all should-
Yes,
you all-
absolutely.
Yeah. If you're a Canucks fan and you participated in that, you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves.
Just let that marinate for a sec. Let everyone take it in.
Yeah, let that hang in the air for a moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure if they
Um,
ever win, we're gonna light one up.
Prob-
Anyway,
Probably riots. Probably riots. Yeah.
like you know, it's worked when we lose.
Yeah.
Why not when we win?
Yeah.
Anyways, video games. Who's been playing them?
This guy right here, I've been playing things. I've been playing video games.
Are they the
It's
best
true.
video games? Some good video games, mediocre.
I did do that. I scored something at 90.
That something was Paper
Hmm.
Mario.
Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door for the Nintendo Switch.
And what a video game that is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where it was hard to really come up with a lot of constructive, useful criticism because basically what they did was they took a pretty excellent entry in the Paper Mario series and they shined it up just right for the new release on the Switch. And apparently they took some stuff that apparently they'd made translation changes back in the day that were not as faithful to the original text. And now with the new version, the translation is it more closely adheres to the original Japanese version that we never got.
And is that better?
It's not. It's only a couple times that it's really come up. Basically, there's one character you get in your party who is, I guess, some version of trans or whatever that is in the Mario world, basically talking about like living as one gender and not being recognized by their incredibly shitty sisters, who you see plenty of evidence of them being incredibly shitty up to this point. So it's not like a big breaking character or anything. And apparently they took this out of the American release the first time because I guess they just didn't think we were fucking cool enough. But now they do. So that's cool. I love that for us. Love that we've gotten into the inner circle of like Nintendo games and their lore. But mostly it's just been like small but significant improvements to the visuals and to the audio, like a lot of little fixes. I think I mentioned this before, how they have like that babble speak where like they cut it from like sound effects and audio from other versions of that same character, and like the characters themselves look more like paper cutouts. There's more lighting effects. There's more sounds associated with different actions. Just when you're playing it, it just feels snappy and crisp and fucking delicious and like just generally really good. It's one of those things that when you watch the trailer, it's really hard to see because it just looks like you remember it looking. But then there's been like Digital Foundry and people like that who've been put up side by side videos, and it's like, oh no. This is actually a significant improvement over the original release, which I appreciate. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I don't know all the like dialogue changes. Most of what I've noticed has been like the cool audio visual improvements.
I feel like on the visual side, that's the sign of a good remake is you think it looks like it used to look. That's kind of how I felt about the Metroid Prime remakes too.
Yeah, that's been the big push, has been people being like, oh no, what we had was pretty good. We just have to like give it a little makeover for fucking modern 4K televisions. Like Diablo 2 was the same way. Metroid Prime, which you mentioned. There's been a bunch of games that have come out where it's like, what we did is we tricked you, the player, into thinking that this is what it always looked like. It doesn't, though. You can look up old videos and be like shocked and amazed, you know. But it's a good move. It's a good trend, and I'm always happy to see it executed properly again. One more successive time, and this is just another example. And yeah, aside from like the cool new bits and bobs, it's just a really fucking solid Paper Mario game. Like this is like one of the last. It feels like one of the last ones where they were allowed to go really crazy with the writing and like cool new characters. I think the Wii one was kind of transitional, or like maybe that was the first one where they were like they had that new aggressive mandate about like character creation, where it's just like, no, we can't be making new shit. Where we have to really limit how much new shit we make, and they did that for like years. It wasn't until like Super Mario Wonder where they were like, well, we can make some new shit. That'd be cool. Let's make some new shit. But yeah, for like a solid decade, it was just like, no, we have to build the fucking brand with our established characters and stop like branching out. And it feels like Thousand Year Door is one of the last games where they were like really getting into the mix and fucking it up and like being cool with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's a better than a 7.
Yeah, for sure. That's solidly better than a 7. It's an excellent entry in the series, and especially because it's so fucking difficult to play the original. Like I guess if you have a GameCube, you're partway there, but it's not super easy to find. And I think there was a time where you would look it up on the used games market, and it was like getting that like collector's treatment where like any copy you found was like a couple $100. Now the Switch release has totally fucked that up, which is great. But yeah. I think there's a couple GameCube games. There's that one, and then there was Twilight Princess for the GameCube that I found copies of back in the day that were only $50 each, and it felt like a precious gift from the gods.
Yeah. I mean, retro gaming it's a whole thing.
It is.
Because at this point, there is no reason to engage with any actual physical retro stuff unless you're one of those people that just wants the physical stuff. So it feels like the market should be easier to get into, but I don't think it is.
No.
Womp womp. Rhett, what have you been up to?
Been playing a bit of NHL 24, which brings me to my next point in regards to the Vancouver Canucks. You know where EA really fucked them over was they've been trying to sell the game on the marketplace on the PlayStation Store and I'd assume Xbox. And the little graphic that they used to try and sell the game was Hughes hoisting the cup. And I think that they fucked that team over by doing that.
There is the curse.
I think that they really fucking sewered the boys by putting that up there. I haven't really been playing anything. What have I not? Like Final Fantasy, I put 12 hours into Final Fantasy over the past couple days. I guess something that I haven't talked about.
12 hours in 2 days is pretty good.
Yeah, no,
that's hefty production.
It's great. Do I need to actually finish all of the Chadley stuff?
No.
Because at this point, I'm starting to feel like I'm just grinding through it for no reason. I don't need to go and do all the fucking, fiend intel spots and et cetera, et cetera.
You don't have to. I would recommend doing the Proto Relic stuff, though.
Those I've been doing. Yeah. So that's been cool. I guess the one game that I've been playing that I haven't spoken about on the podcast is a game called Across the Obelisk. I've been playing it on Switch, and it's very, very much like Slay the Spire. Same, very, very, very similar. Roguelite, a card-based game where you're working through a series of maps, building decks. But what's cool about this one is that you can play it in 4-player co-op. You have 4.
Interesting.
Yeah. You have 4 different characters, and like there's a bunch of characters in the game, but you have a team of 4 essentially that you start off with. And as you work your way through runs, you unlock new characters, new cards, etc., etc. Looks really nice. And yeah, being able to play one of these games in co-op has been pretty cool. In fact, I would recommend playing it in co-op because, especially when you get started, there's a lot of systems at play, a lot of different cards, a lot of things you need to learn. There's a lot of fucking numbers and percentages that are flying at you. And controlling a team of 4 can be a little bit overwhelming. So having 4 players and only having to worry about one person, it's kind of nice.
Structurally looks really similar to Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah. All those. I mean, if you've played a roguelite card-based like deck builder, you've played something very, very similar to this. But I'd say that this is one of the better ones. It runs very, very well on the Switch, so I'd recommend checking it out there. Yeah, it's been fun.
It's not a foregone conclusion that things run good on the Switch.
Oh, no.
No, especially now in the twilight years of its life cycle.
It's all right. Switch 2, it's coming.
It's coming. It's
Confirmed
coming.
with the littlest fanfare ever.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, Obelisk is cool. I'd give it a solid 7. It's a solid 7.
That sounds worth your time.
Yeah.
Nice little side dish in any case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I played some of Hellblade 2.
All right, speak on it.
I feel two different ways about this game.
Okay.
How people are scoring this thing, because there's a wide gap. There's lots that think it's really great. There's lots that think it sucks. And it depends if you're looking at it as a piece of art or as a game. It's a bad game.
Ugh.
It's a pretty good piece of art.
Wasn't the first one a decent game?
It was okay. It's pretty bare bones. And this one does not improve that.
Oh.
So it's thin for sure. On the gameplay mechanics side of things, there's some very light combat that's really easy to understand. I've seen people saying it's super complicated and timing based and stuff. It's really not. It's pretty simple.
Oh, okay.
But it feels good. So it feels like a really big missed opportunity with this game, because it has not expanded in scope from the first game. I remember them saying this is going to be grander, but it's almost beat for beat kind of the same thing as Senua's Sacrifice, just a different story. And for me, it does not have the emotional gravitas of that first experience. Yes, it's still got outstanding audio design, and it looks gorgeous. Although I will say it looks very soft on the Xbox. It's definitely not running at a very high resolution internally. So from a technical standpoint, it's great. If you want to show off your new OLED, Senua's Saga is pretty good choice. However, once you go through it, you're not going to be going back to this thing. Very, very basic. A lot of walking, punctuated by maybe 2 or 3 minutes of the same combat every time, and a quote unquote puzzle that basically solves itself. Just not a lot there.
Fucking exhilarating, man. I can't wait to get my hands on this. And I will be getting my hands on it, because we're planning on streaming both of those games.
Well, that's going to be like 2 streams.
That's what I was going to ask. So this one's just as short as the first?
I haven't finished it yet, but by all accounts, it's like 5 hours long.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty slender, which honestly is great news for me. I don't need a fucking 30-hour monstrosity on my plate. If I just want to chew up a quick little game, fantastic. Also, I think they're going to kill this fucking studio, because I don't think it's going to sell that great. And Microsoft's big metal jaws, they just washed all the blood off from the last ones. So they're ready for a new round, man.
Yeah. Oh, please God, just let them put them up for sale. Let somebody else pick them up, or let them go independent. Don't close them.
Who made this game?
Ninja Theory.
Yeah, it would be great if they just didn't do that. But like,
shut them down. Fuck it.
Fuck them.
Shut them down.
So, like I said, I think this is a giant missed opportunity, and I really get the sense that they had grander ambitions for this, because there's so much attention paid to the environments, and they look very good. It's the kind of environment that you would want to go look around and explore and find stuff. There's no opportunity to do that because it's very narrow scope. And the combat feels good enough that it's like they put some effort into making this feel good. But then at some point couldn't figure
Okay.
out how to bring this structure and this story into a grander scale, and went, let's do the same thing again. Let's do Senua's Sacrifice again. Because it really is that. So if you played the
Okay.
first one, there's a whole lot of reason other than the technical aspects to go after this one. Because I don't think the story is as exciting.
No.
That
So
said,
where does it land on the scale?
again, it depends. It depends on if you're looking at it as a game or a piece of art.
Yeah.
If it's a piece of art, I would say it's better than a 7. If you're looking at it as a game, I would say it's less than a 7.
Well, this isn't fucking press X to go to the museum.
If it's press X to gameplay, it's less than a 7.
Oh. Oh. God. Well,
But that said, in playing through it, I'm enjoying my time because the environments are really nice to look at. The audio design is awesome. The voice
Yeah.
acting and the performances are really good.
Right.
And I don't know that I've really seen better mocap than this. The facial animations and whatnot are top qual,
Nice.
which is why I wish it was longer, grander, more to do. Like let me play with this game and not spend all of my time walking. Probably 80% of your time slowly walking.
Are the facial animations better than LA Noir?
Yes. We've finally surpassed that gem. But like
Perfect.
the gameplay that I've got running right now, most of it is this crawling through something while the voices in Senua's head battle each
Yeah.
other, for lack of a better term.
Incredible.
Okay. Okay.
So I would not pay $50 for this thing. I would get it on Game Pass though.
Nice. What a time
Maybe
to be
they're-
alive.
Maybe they're trying to like listen, we need something to show off the raw, incredible power of Microsoft gaming. So they put all their fucking chips on this guy,
Well,
and then it's not going to sell
Yeah.
30
Yeah,
billion
but then-
units.
But then Paul says it looks soft as fuck.
on the Xbox it does.
Yeah.
Especially in the cutscenes, like you'll have two characters on screen and both of them look out of focus. And maybe that's a stylistic choice because it does look like it's got a lot of chromatic aberration around the edges of things. So maybe it's stylistic, but
Yeah.
I can't see how good your character models are when they're that fuzzy.
This sounds wonderful.
But let's not
Yeah.
give them too much credit about the quality of the environments, because this is Unreal Engine 5, and you don't have to do much to make a pretty landscape in UE5.
Right.
But these are good. They're nicely done. But I don't know what the studio was doing for 5 years when it's that big. 6 years, 7 years. When was Sacrifice? 2017 or something. But yeah, give it a shot. You might find that you like art. Or you might find that you like gameplay and want to play a game.
Sweet. Can't wait to play them.
James, should we jump back to you? What else you got going on there, big dog?
I played a bunch of V Rising. V Rising's cool shit, man. So like basically you are a vampire and your shit got all fucked up and you wake up in your little crappy wooden coffin and you got to restart your empire from scratch. And so you do. And it's basically a vampire survival crafting sim where you and like 3 other people can compete or work together or however you want to do it to like take over the land or win the day. It's the little top down kind of vibe, sort of like not a Diablo exactly, but like some other like action RPG type combat. But it feels pretty good, pretty fluid, and the building is also pretty good, pretty fluid. It all like the tech trees and shit like that all roll up pretty smoothly. Like it's not confusing or weird or like disjointed. You never lost trying to figure out like how to get to the next stage of things, which that feels good. I really appreciate how easy it is, how seamless it is to build your big fuck off castle when you want to. It's just like, do you have the stone and the wood? Then you got castle walls, baby. And as soon as you unlock the ability to build like, because at first it's just like wooden palisades and shit, and that's whatever. That's not even enough to keep the sun out. But once you can build actual castle structures, then you're safe from the horrible killing rays, and you can work and tinker away in there all day, and then go out at night and murder things. And yeah, it's just a good, cool, crunchy loop. Feels good to execute, feels good to get lost in, kind of like just running it and fucking making progress and kicking ass and taking names, and like you can like change your form. You can go like wolf form pretty early on and like run really fast and do cool shit like that, and you get access to all sorts of like kick-ass abilities and spells, and I know it's dope. Fucking dope. I thought I was totally burnt out on survival crafting sims, but it turns out I just want one where
With
I feel
vampires.
cool. Yeah, where I feel powerful and cool, right? Like, because like in Shrouded, you're just some chumpy bitch in like animal skins with a club just trying to like eke out a living, and like that's not great.
Ugh.
Yeah, I want to be a badass immortal killing machine
Yeah.
who's fatally allergic to sunlight. It doesn't kill you instantly, but there's a sort of like a countdown clock every time you step out from the shadows into the sun. You can still maneuver in the daylight, but you just can't be in direct sunlight, because once you do, you've got about 6 seconds or so before it starts doing like, I don't know, 30 damage a second, and it stacks and expands. It's like, so if you're out in the sun for, I want to say 10 seconds, you're fucking dead. But you can just like run, and then you get to a shadow, and then the clock kind of resets. You can just sort of very quickly go from shadow to shadow if you have to travel somewhere. So there's, I don't know, it's just a good time if you want to be a cool badass vampire and like build a big fuck off castle and drink tons of blood. There's not like a traditional level grinding or gaining system. You get stat bonuses from the blood you drink depending on how pure it is or what kind of blood you drank, but it doesn't stack or anything. If you drink a second dude's blood, it just replaces the stat qualities of the last guy. So you'll see like monsters and people and shit running around. It's like, oh, this one's like 81% pure. That's wild. That's fucking crazy. You drink that motherfucker right now, because you do so, and suddenly you've got all these little bonuses to like your movement or your strength or like your skills and shit like that. It's good. It's better than 7 for sure on our scale. Like easy peasy better than 7.
Yeah, not like reinventing the wheel, but
No.
like quality game.
Yeah.
You gotta like it.
If you've been feeling burnt out on survival crafting sims, and then you're like, I want to do something like that, but like different and not the same fuck off grind as all the others, try V Rising. Especially if you can get a couple of buddies together, so you can like hang out in one instance as like one of the giant world maps and like start castles in different areas and kind of like team up or raid each other's shit. That you can do that too. There's like a whole set of skills that I didn't really mess with because I was just doing a sort of single player run for review purposes. But like, there's a bunch of ways you can like destroy your opponent's castles and like fuck up their walls, and like you can like learn to build like basic explosives and like plant them close to people's like walls and doors if they would try to bar you out. You're like, haha, no, and just blow them up and stroll in. And yeah, because if you can force them into the sunlight, oh buddy, they're in trouble.
Sounds like
Raid
fun.
the treasure chest. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it on everything?
It's PC right now. It's coming to PS5 for sure. I actually don't know about the other consoles.
Well, Twitter would have you believe that if it's not on Xbox, that's somehow Sony's fault. Maybe it is. I don't know. Probably not.
It's
Probably
as much.
not even slightly. No, yeah.
I'd say it's as much their fault as it was EA Sports when they posted that picture, causing the Vancouver Canucks to get knocked out of the playoffs.
That was their shit power play that got them knocked out of the playoffs. Atrocious. The worst zone entry I have ever seen in my life. God. Anyway,
they were so lucky that they got as far as they did. Are we moving on? Any more V Rising? Check it out.
No, I'm good. I'm good on V Rising. I said my
V
piece.
has risen.
Is that
that's
out now?
Oh yeah.
That's a new game.
It's the 1.0 release that dropped on the 8th. It's been in early access for a little while, so like,
which is these fucking survival crafting games usually do.
Honestly,
can't think of a single one that just released into 1.0.
So what are we moving on to?
I dabbled actually. Just dipped my toes into. You were talking about how V Rising's unique. If y'all want a pretty unique experience, I would recommend checking out a game on Steam called Home Safety Hotline. It's this analog horror game where you are essentially, let's just say, a 911 operator.
oh,
And you are receiving, I guess there's more to it than just the main hook, but basically there are some first person aspects where you're walking around and you can do stuff when you're not at work, but you go to work and you clock in and you receive calls from people that are requesting assistance in odd, strange, terrifying, sometimes paranormal, maybe, happenings that are going on in their lives, and you have to send the right. You're essentially making decisions and deciding on which service they require to rid them of their issue. And as again, I just dip my toes in, but from what I can tell, the further you go, the further you progress, the weirder and weirder shit gets.
Fun.
It's very unique. Very, very unique. And I said I only dip my toes into it because I want to stream the entire thing. I don't think it's too long of a game. Maybe 3 hours or so.
I'm intrigued.
But yeah, from what I've seen, from what I played, I was really, really into it. The big thing that like really piqued my interest, the reason I want to continue the game all the way through, is that there's actually some really, really good voice acting in it. Some really creepy shit. I love a good creepy phone call in a horror movie, and this is chock full of them. It's fucking bursting at the seams with creepy ass phone calls. So if you like that sort of stuff, and again, it's analog horror, so it's really weird. But if you like that sort of stuff, check this out. I guarantee that you will not have played something like this in a long, long, long time.
Did you ever play Hypnospace
Awesome.
Outlaw?
No, but I know of that game, and actually, yeah, there's definitely similarities.
Yeah.
Definitely similarities. Yeah.
'Cause that game is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've put some time into Hypnospace Outlaw myself. That shit is excellent.
Wow. Yeah, I'm super intrigued by this.
Yeah. I recommend it. Check it out.
Cool.
It's definitely one you want to play late at night, turn the lights out, put a good set of headphones on, and yeah, let it ride.
Yeah. Hire some friends to, bang on the walls and doors and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool. I also dipped my toes into Animal Well,
Tell me more.
which is it's a Metroidvania apparently made by one guy under the studio of Video Game Donkey.
It's his big mode, his publishing outfit that he's cooked up. And
It's
so there's his.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I think it's like the dude named Billy Basso or something like that. And there's like some who's got his own one man company. Apparently the game file size is really tiny. It's a really unassuming little project.
Yes. I heard that the backdrop for the PS5 is larger than the entire game. Like the image file.
What?
Yeah. And if you've seen how this game looks, it's very simple. It's kind of vector graphic 2D.
Yeah.
But it's well animated. It controls really well. It kind of reminds me of Celeste in a way, in how it controls.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Metroidvania. People have been really on this game. It's the best one of these that I've played in a long time. I don't know if I would go that far. It's good. It's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of want to check it out. I've been reading some of the criticisms and some of the reviews basically and trying to sift through some of the hyperbole to see what the actual tangible experience is like. And it does fascinate me with the idea that like, oh, well, it's not so much about combat as more about like surviving these encounters, and you have like tools that you can use in a variety of interesting ways, and it's like great. Metroidvania combat I generally find really fucking frustrating. So if you've cut that out of the equation, you got my vote.
Yeah, it's much more puzzle solving and using the
Yeah.
tools that you have to solve the puzzles. Like the first tool you run into is a firecracker. And you can just like throw firecrackers around. And you get a slinky, which you can, in true slinky fashion, put on a set of stairs and it will walk its way down the stairs to, hit a button or, go through something that you can't walk through or fall through. So it's very clever in that sense. What I found though is that when I wasn't playing, I didn't think about going back to it. So it's entertaining and engaging while you're playing it. I don't think it's super memorable.
Interesting.
But yeah, if you're looking for one of these, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's probably slightly better than a 7.
Better than a 7, but maybe less memorable than the Canucks losing in 7 games this year.
You're just really on this.
Man, I just what a time. What a time.
Well, I'm glad you're having the best time of your life.
I really am.
So the Kings going to get in on the Mitch Marner sweepstakes?
Bro, we're going to get in on the fucking Connor McDavid sweepstakes. Just wait until the end of next year or 2 years. Just wait.
Isn't Draisaitl up for renewal before that?
After next season. Yeah.
That
But
would fit.
we don't want-
That would fit with the old douchebag vibe down there in LA.
Okay. Was that really necessary?
I think it was at this point.
It
You
was
won't let up.
not.
I gotta fight back.
Nah, we don't want Dry. We want the prize, man. We want Connor. We're gonna get Connor.
Yeah,
Connor.
I think he's Draisaitl is nothing without the old McD.
Exactly.
Just like Marner. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Overrated. Whole Toronto Leafs team is overrated.
Well, yeah, I'll make fun of the Canucks, but realistically, the real laughing stock of the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's
Easily.
Yeah.
Anyways, Animal Well. Yeah, it's good. But I would rather play Ori or Axiom Verge or Hollow Knight. One of those other ones.
We ever gonna get that
Fair
Silk
enough.
song?
Oh my
No.
god. Probably not, no.
At this point, I don't know.
We're getting to Duke Nukem Forever levels of absurdity with this. Like, it's just like a sequel. It's gonna take 100 years. I feel like what happened was that it's an expansion. It's like, nope, we fucked up. It's a whole game. So look for that whenever we get it done.
Yeah.
So remember a few weeks ago when I was
which-
saying, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, remember
No,
a few,
I got nothing.
yeah,
Tell
okay.
me.
A few weeks ago, I was saying I promised to go back to Fallout 76.
Oh yeah.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I started new. I started fresh. And you can indeed automatically level yourself up to level 20 to kind of kickstart things and get you going in the right direction. It's not any better, really.
Oh.
It still has that same level of jank and delay, especially when shooting things, that it just won't register or just won't connect in the way that it's supposed to. Definitely because it's calling a server all the time. But that said, I played it for probably 3, maybe 4 hours, and I had an okay time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's enough Fallout-like stuff to do now that you can go around and do stuff. You can go explore a cave, or you can take out this herd of wolves or rats or whatever. The things you would do in Fallout. It's not memorable, though. None of the characters feel like they have any business being in the world or having any kind of gravitas. So I still would not recommend it. I uninstalled it.
Yeah. Oh, uninstalled it. So I guess playing it together is out of the question.
I mean, I could reinstall it, but
yeah. Fuck.
yeah. So there's definitely a lot to do, and I still think that the map in Fallout 76 is the best one Bethesda's made.
I mean, I think at this point there's no question that game exists solely to sell their fucking Fallout Pass
Yes.
or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yes, and that stuff is jammed into your face at every turn.
Yeah.
They desperately want you to pay.
Yeah. Sweet.
So,
Really good.
pass, less than a 7.
Yeah.
What else, boys? Isn't that
Well,
Elden Ring DLC coming out soon?
yes, it is. It's coming out in about a month. I'm not going to review it because I didn't want to. I want to play it in my own time.
Yeah.
But what I am going to do is at some point between now and the 21st of June is I'm going to take my strongest character and do a little training. I've heard that this because okay, here's some inside baseball shit. But the stats have sort of soft caps where you can increase them above a certain level, but it doesn't really do anything for you. And it's different for every stat. But apparently those caps are going to be raised for the DLC release. So for example, if you wanted to put like 20 more points into vigor, you can definitely do that and feel pretty good about your decision, right? And probably going to want to do that because every FromSoft expansion is markedly harder than the base game. Somebody was pointing out online that like when you watch the trailer, you see these guys who look like Wicker Men, mostly on fire, 3 stories tall, wandering around. It's like, I don't want to fight that. What are you fucking doing, FromSoft? Don't make me fight those guys. But you know, you're gonna have to, clearly, right? Like, yeah, I gotta say, I dabbled in basically all. I think 60 or 70% of the different base classes you can fuck around with. I'm wizard, man. I'm wizard all the way, man. Like, just give me the astrology, astronomy, whatever the spells, the cool blue spells. Give me those. Give me all of those. I don't give a shit about anything else. They're like, oh, you should try using the big crazy weapons and the fucking cool others. There's all sorts of crazy magical abilities. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I want the ability to shoot magic from 30 feet away and take all of their fucking health in like 1 or 2 hits. That's what I want to do. I am a cheap, terrible player. I make no excuses for this. I make no concessions.
Yeah.
I make no apologies. All right?
Yeah.
If I could figure out how to make that fucking Kamehameha work more often, it is the only spell I would use. Yeah. It is the cheapest, meanest, nastiest shit you can possibly unleash on a boss, and I do it all the time, baby.
Comet Azure.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Kamehameha. Yeah.
That's the ticket, huh?
Yeah. Oh my god. What you do is you get the good mimic tier that's like just a copy of yourself. And you just have them go out and distract the boss. And then while they're like, I'm gonna kick your ass, clone, and it's like, you can't catch me. While they're doing that, you just get to a corner, you set up the Kamehameha blast, and you just fucking chew and swallow like 2/3 of their health bar with a single blast. You're like, well, that's that fight sorted.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. People are like, well, that's not the audible way to play. And I tell them to go fuck themselves.
It looks like the perfect way to play, TBH.
It's so fun. Yeah. Yeah. Just all the I just call them wizard spells. I can't remember what they're actually called. Astronomers, I think they're called. But yeah, all those wizard spells are the shit. And I can't wait to unleash them on a whole new crop of bosses and Shadow of the Erdtree.
This looks like the definitive way to play the game, if you ask me.
It's what I was telling you, man. And I was like, this is the way I play Elden Ring as an astronomer. And you're like, okay. And it was like, well, because you just use your big cool spells from a distance, and then they're like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, that's cool. I'm gonna run 10 or 11 feet away and just keep hitting you with the fucking
Blue Blast.
the big pebble. There's pebble, and then there's big pebble, and there's very big pebble, and that's, I think, or comet. Comet's another great one. It's not the big Kamehameha. Instead, it's just like one big whoop.
In whatever video we're watching, guy just melted an entire boss with one blast.
Yeah, it's the coolest spell in the game.
Can you launch it from horseback?
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done a bunch of those. I think you can use any spell from horseback, but it's not practical to do so because you have to aim the fucking thing. So it's better to sort of mount yourself like a cannon. Basically, you need to sit and situate and not
My
move.
God.
Because otherwise, that big, very expensive beam is just going to shoot off into the atmosphere and do nobody any good.
Some poor peasant all the way across the map just
Yeah.
gets melted by
Also, the two hardest bosses in the base game, the fire giant and the final boss. Don't use that spell. Don't use that spell on them. Because while you're sitting there charging, you're like, Hame. They just come around to the side and they do a couple of combos, and those combos shred your life bar like fucking iceberg lettuce. And that's it, baby.
Melania is the toughest boss in the game.
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
She is a real D word.
Yeah, a real see you next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
If you want to break it down like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never beaten her, by the way. I've beaten everybody else, basically. All the other bosses, I've whooped their ass in one form or another. Not Melania. No.
Yeah. Well, because she can see right through your fucking bullshit wizard sleeve spells or whatever the fuck.
Doesn't matter which one I use either.
Yeah.
It's just like, and if you're like, I'm going to bring a second guy to help. No, because more players means they have more health. That you're not doing yourself any favors. Just do it yourself if you can do it at all.
I don't know. I got it done. In co-op, I will say.
Okay, yeah. It's because if you can get a good partner, you can definitely make it happen. But
Yeah.
You got it done much in the way that the Vancouver Canucks did not get it done.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh man,
It's fine.
forgot about that.
No, you didn't. Don't you
No,
lie to me. Well, good. I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoy living in the shadow of the Erd tree. I will not.
Yeah. You didn't have anything to do with Elden Ring. You didn't want that shit in the slightest.
I gave it the old college try. I killed,
Yeah, and you're like, this is the
a
same old
few
bullshit.
guys from horseback while sprinting around the map. That seemed like the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
it is a pretty good way.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
not my jam.
Well, honestly, like I'm not really as excited about the DLC as most other people are, anyways. I don't think I'm gonna fucking. Like, I don't know if I'll even play it, but at launch, definitely not.
It's
Definitely.
too big a gap in time.
Yeah,
For
no,
something that's-
exactly. I don't remember how to play. My character probably isn't anywhere near where it needs to be to play it. Yeah. My time with this game is come and gone.
Yeah, for something that's so technically demanding. If it's not a fast follow, people are like the hardcore fans that haven't played it in a while will just go back and play through the whole game.
Yeah.
But not that Elden Ring has casual fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like them.
Not really. But that's fine. You can love your Soulsies all day long. Just be over here playing Hellblade. I've only played it like 2 sessions and pretty sure I will finish it the next time I sit down with it.
Right. Well, how much time did you put into it over those 2 sessions?
Like 3 hours.
Oh, so it's longer than anticipated.
Oh no, 3 hours total.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sweet.
Yeah, is anybody who's out there saying, "Oh no, it's really long. It took me 13 hours." No, it didn't. It didn't. That's just
felt
that's
like
just a
13
straight up lie.
hours because it sucks.
Unless you are actively trying to just standing there for hours on end, there's no way.
Yeah. Sweet. Man, Microsoft just fucking banger after banger after banger, killing it, killing the game right now.
They are killing the game.
Literally,
They're
yeah,
doing their level best.
yeah, yeah.
So what do you guys think? Is
This
Call
is-
of Duty going to be on Game Pass?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
They have to, right?
they spent
100%.
so much money on Activision Blizzard. Why would they not do that?
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost them billions of dollars to put it on Game Pass.
Yeah, but I think for a lot of the people that own both systems, if they're forced to buy the game, they'd buy it on PlayStation over Xbox.
Oh, for sure.
You know, yeah.
But
So
if they
it's gotta
buy it
be
on
Game
PlayStation,
Pass.
that's still money in Microsoft's pocket,
Yeah, well, yeah.
minus the
Yeah.
publisher fee.
Well, what they can do, right, is that you're like, oh, you can play the base game for free on Game Pass. Do you want any of the cool shit that we've learned to fucking milk you for? Then that's gonna cost you. And that might be an attractive prospect where it's just like anybody who's like, well, I don't want to buy the whole base game, but I will plug a bunch of money into I don't know, the goofy like skins and suits and shit. Like there's like a Gundam collaboration happening with Call of Duty for some fucking reason. Because they're chasing after Fortnite's tail, and like that's a fool's game. What the fuck are you guys doing? Just be the shooter that you were always meant to be. Fortnite is a toy box, and unless you're willing to make that same commitment, I don't understand what the fuck you're doing.
I mean, they've made their bed. They have to keep doing the Game Pass thing, even if they've run the numbers and they're like, this game will not make money. They've got no choice. They'll be such hypocrites. Every game, day and date. Game Pass.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say 2 years. 2 years before Microsoft's big, beautiful, glitzy Netflix streaming style dream dies in its fucking bed. Because, like, you can only do so much C-suite fuck shit before the people that really, truly, genuinely matter stop turning up for you. By which I mean the devs that you need to make your games, you embarrassing fucking vultures. Okay? If you keep fucking these people over, they're gonna stop working for you. And then where are you? Then you have even more no games than you already have.
So, do you guys think, because they have a showcase coming up in not E3 in
Mhm.
a few weeks?
Mhm.
They're gonna have bangers?
No.
No, like no Gears
Bangers?
6 or Perfect Dark.
We will have a strong, healthy showcase of 10 to 15 games that nobody has ever heard of. A third of those will be amazing. A third of them will be terrible disappointments in, 3 years, of course, with all of this when they come out. And a third of them will be available on other consoles and thus irrelevant to the Xbox conversation at large. And there will be maybe one first party project teased. And there'll be shit where it's like, remember this game that we already put out that was okay, but you guys didn't like for some reason? Here's us attempting to bring more people in, like Sea of Thieves, for example.
I say that they unveil Milo. Milo's going to be complete.
What's Milo?
Milo is the game that Peter Molyneux unveiled when they first showed off the Kinect. And they were like, Milo's going to change the way gaming is done. Where you can talk to Milo and
Oh,
wave at
Peter.
Milo
Oh,
and throw
Peter.
apples to Milo. But then Milo never came out. Milo turned out to be an industry-wide joke. I think that they're going to unveil Milo. Complete.
It's
Milo
not the most
complete.
absurd thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately
I'll-
for them.
I'll be real with you. I don't really care what Xbox does. I will
No.
watch the showcase, and there will be 3 or 4 things where I'm like, "Oh, hey, I haven't heard of that, but that looks pretty cool. I can't wait to play it in 2027."
Mm.
And then Nintendo is going to do their showcase, right? Somewhere in June.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't announce some games coming out this calendar year, then they're in some fucking trouble, man. Because again,
Are they though?
Because
Because
Nintendo.
well,
They
They
don't
can
have to
take
do
years
anything, and
off.
they're
They'll be fine.
gonna sell like 50 million
Yeah.
copies of Mario Kart this year.
Yeah. Smash Bros. Still selling.
it's not sounding like it used to, man.
Tears of the
Like,
Kingdom
Mario
DLC,
Kart-
maybe.
Yep.
Oh God, shut up! Don't say that into existence. Shut the fuck up! Come on.
You know they're already doing it. You know it.
I fucking know they are. And it's just like, look, guys, we know you want new games, but we're not doing that anymore. So instead, you get DLC for this. Ugh.
I don't know, man. Sometime between now and March 2025, they're gonna show off the new Switch, and anything they're working on now is going there.
I think we'll get one project. Like I said before, and I'll say it again. I think we'll get one project that'll serve as the bridge between the two consoles. We're like a new Mario game, and it's going to come out for Switch and Switch 2. Because
Super Switch.
yeah. So basically, you'll get that game that'll be announced, and they won't say it's coming out for both systems, but it'll have a distant release date, like sometime in 2025, and that will be the release date for the next console, because they've had a bridge release like this for like the last 2 or 3 consoles they've put out, and it's a smart move because you get people who are like, well, I don't want to invest in this new console right now, and they can get it. And the people are like, I want something to play in this new console, they can get it. And functionally, there's not like a gigantic difference in gameplay between the two versions, but it feels nice, you know? It feels like something. It's just like Breath of the Wild, where you could get it on the Wii U if you wanted. I don't know if anybody did, but you could do it.
Can't wait till they show off Tears of the Kingdom running on that Switch 2 in glorious, crisp 900p. 55 frames a second.
Well, there were some chip related leaks that indicate it's an NVIDIA chip again, but it
Yeah.
has DLSS. So
Okay.
the system's probably not going to render at 4K, but it will definitely output at 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like almost 7 years since the last Mario game. 3D Mario.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta have something, right? Odyssey 2 even.
They'll probably get that Bowser's Fury full game.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want that, though.
What?
Well,
I remember
well,
y'all getting
it won't be that
boners over Bowser's Fury.
necessarily. That was just a mechanical proof of concept for where they're going next, in my opinion. I think that'll be like, because what they've been trying to do with Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury is come up with this sort of like themeless, flawless, fluid, sort of open world bespoke stage combination experience, right? Where they're trying to get it so that like, because like with Mario 64 and games like that, you had to like hop into a thing and go to a separate area to do a level. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to do away with those borders as much as possible. And they made pretty good progress with that in Mario Odyssey, but it was still a series of discrete separate regions. And I think they're trying to create something that like, oh, there's no loading times or they're invisible and you never see them. And you're just moving from challenge to challenge. And it's just like they're trying to create like Forza Horizon 5, where you're just like driving around, moving from challenge to challenge. You know what I mean? Just like frictionless, where you're just where you're constantly engaged, you're constantly playing, you're constantly into it, and there's just no like big loading screens or any sort of like obstacles between you and engaging with the core loop, right? Like I think that's what they've been working towards, and I have a feeling it's probably part of why they've been taking so long to come up with the next thing, is because they're trying to like they have a very specific mechanical philosophy they're trying to like honor or expand upon that they haven't white nailed yet, and it's possible they are waiting for like the new hardware just so they can do that like zippy dippy solid state load and go fuck itself kind of experience, which they already had pretty well locked down with the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like once you load the one time, like most of the world is just like open and ready to rock, right? Like you get tiny invisible loading screens when you're like going into temples and shit, but that you can tell, right? Like that's what they're working towards. Something without loading screens, something without borders, something that you can just sort of engage with in whatever way you want.
So like The Witcher, but make it Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I could deal with that.
That sounds sweet, actually. I'd be into that for sure.
Yeah, just roll into town and throw fireballs at a bunch of toads and
Yeah,
roll out of
Right.
town on Yoshi.
for sure. It sounds like almost like a riot, sort of like the way.
Hey man, it's been 13 years since our last riot.
Yeah,
We're due.
I was going to say, in this hypothetical Witcher Mario crossover, do you want Henry Cavill or Liam Hemsworth?
Liam Hemsworth, of course. Of course, Liam Hemsworth.
Have they shown him off as the
They
Witcher
have.
yet? Like,
They have. They just
Yeah?
did, actually. Yeah.
People
Yeah,
do
honestly-
not like it.
I mean, honestly, he looks fine. He looks fine. Chris Pratt.
Oh my god.
I
Please
looked it
let
up
Chris
right
Pratt
now.
be voicing Mario in the next game.
Dude, I'd be
Fuck.
down. I would
Fuck
be
me.
down.
Don't even joke yourself. They hired a guy. All right, they have a dude. I don't want to hear it. They have a dude.
Yeah, his name's Chris
Christopher
Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about? You think Nintendo brought him on for the movie just cause? Like, no,
Yeah.
he's the guy moving forward. But yeah, Liam, they showed him off. I mean, honestly, like he looks a lot like Cavill. He's got the fucking flow.
Yeah.
They light him up in a dark and moody and ominous way.
Yeah, I just watched the teaser. It looks, I don't know, it's
He looks
fine.
fine. Yeah, he looks fine.
Cavill was putting on such a heavy voice with that one, anyways. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be very, 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 and it's just like, okay, man, okay. And it really felt like they were like, the writers were trying to like kick that fucker out the door with that season 3, anyways, like slowly but surely, but like have him involved less and less in the story and like, okay, all right, fuck off now, please. I don't know. That's the impression I got when I watched it.
I did not even make it through the first season of that show. I know the second season gets better, but
What was your specific grievance?
uh wasn't really one. It's kind of like how I feel about Animal Well, where I stopped watching it or like, took a break for a few days and was just like,
Okay.
it's off my radar. Apparently my radar is faint. You need a real strong signal to show up.
That's fine, man. I, as a man with pretty sincere, pretty remarkable ADHD, it's not easy to hook me either.
Yeah. We're only a couple of weeks away from finding out if Destiny 2, the final shape, can hook me once more back into its jaws. Honestly, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I I don't know. I would love to be able to play that game properly, but like seems like they just really want to funnel you towards the next expansion and fuck you for wanting anything else, and it's just I don't know. Okay, that's fine, I guess. I don't know, man. The shooting is so good though. It's so
It really is.
stupidly good. Fuck, it's so good.
Really, it really is. I can't believe that no one has surpassed this or copied it. What's going on? Just feels
I
so
mean,
good.
I think part of it is that like it's very, how do I put this? There's not a lot of bells and whistles. They're using pretty basic shit, but they've perfected that basic shit. You know, you're not doing anything too crazy in the realm of shooters, but they make sure that everything you can do feels as good as it possibly can. You know? Does that sound about right for Destiny 2? Where it's just like that this is all shit you've seen before, this is all shit you're familiar with. Like mechanically, there's nothing super new happening here, at least in terms of the shooting, but like they've polished it to fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's part of the reasons why it's not you don't see replicated too often because people are trying to reinvent the wheel or like they don't have the time and energy or the fucking dedicated team who's been around for like a decade or more to really make it smooth and silky as it needs to be.
Yeah. Like they're confident that they can't do better with traditional shooting than already exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes beyond the shooting too, because the movement and powers and things in Destiny, if you've got a double jump or a triple jump as a hunter, it's the best goddamn first person triple jump you've ever seen. Or the boost jump. God,
Yeah.
it feels good.
Yeah.
Or, sticking someone with a grenade. Mm-mm-mm. But we'll see if they better make it a good one.
Okay. All right.
I
Yeah.
don't know if they will.
Well, listen, man. They might do some shit. They might pull a rabbit out of the old hat.
We're not that far removed from the last time they did something good because the Witch Queen was awesome. Just Lightfall was bad.
Lightfall was bad. Okay.
So what else? Anything else we should be chatting about here, or should we get the heck off the line, the internet line?
I think that's most of what I've been paying attention to online.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I A lot of what I've been paying attention to has just been a lot of the shit that we've been talking about, mostly just like seeing people prepare for Elden Ring and seeing people bemoan the like generally pretty terrible state of the industry. Watching just wave after wave of people get fucked out of their jobs. And seeing what Microsoft is actually spending all their money on instead of games. And it's like the bleakest possible shit.
Milo.
Where they basically want to make a more advanced keylogger and screenshotter. Somebody pointed out, it's like, because everybody's going hard on AI, where it's like, we have to have that. That's the new buzzword. We have to have it in our shit just so investors will like spend money on us. And the AI shit that Microsoft wants to do with their OS involves screenshotting everything you do constantly. But they're doing so in a way that has some gigantic car-sized security vulnerabilities. And apparently every serious programmer or like tech nerd that I follow online or like see incidentally is like, Microsoft, please don't do this. This is unbelievably bad news. If you do this, you're like opening the door wide for like hackers and data miners and all sorts of like nasty, horrible shit. It's, please, for Christ's sakes, walk this back. You can't be doing this. And it's just like, but they're just so excited about AI, like they can't help themselves because like,
Yeah.
they just really want to invest in the next big thing that's going to eliminate a third of the fucking workforce.
Yeah, I find that very strange that at the same time they're, shredding their video game division after spending untold amounts of money to build it up. They're also the ones leading the charge on let's use AI to make games. Read the room, for one. And for two, no. Just no.
I mean, listen, we all remember the big NFT push and how badly that fizzled out. I'm telling you right now, unless there is a generational leap forward in AI technology in the next 6 months, the money and the fucking training data is going to run dry. Because basically what they have now is a very slick autocorrect. It's not any sort of actual artificial intelligence. It's basically just a predictive text model that works with images as well. And they're trying to spin this up into like a replacement for a fucking programmer, which like all of the evidence suggests can't be done. Like there was a whole big push recently where it's like, yeah, you can get it to write code for you. And it's like, that's great. This is so amazing. What they don't tell you is that afterwards they go in and they have to like, evaluate and look at that code, and it is fucked. It is fucked up. It is fully useless. It is riddled with errors. It is just like, because it what it does is it creates something for you that it thinks is a perfect approximation of what you asked for. It's like, based on the data you fed me, I'm going to create a very reasonable facsimile, which is not the same thing as knowing how to code. It just isn't. And no amount of training data will make it so. It's so crazy to me how the most powerful people in the world cannot see this incredibly obvious, gigantic flaw in the system that they have poured billions and billions of dollars into making. You are trying to turn autocorrect into a sentient being. It's never going to happen. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, I mean that last statement is it's a big question. So, and based on that, I'm not terribly surprised that how companies are leaning into something that is not ready to be
No.
called intelligent.
No.
Will it get there? Yes, probably at some point.
I
But
mean,
it's not GPT-4.
yeah, it's getting really good at like detailed mimicry, but the intelligence part, I cannot stress enough how not there we are.
It may be not there, but at the same time, it is rapidly approaching the point where it might decide that humans are not necessary.
Oh my god.
You know,
I
and
know
then
I know rich people, like rich, crazy, paranoid assholes are so worried about, oh, artificial intelligence is going to rise up and kill us all. If what we've seen so far is what they have to work with, I'm the least worried about that I've ever been in my adult life. Like, I'm more worried about the Boston Dynamics guys making those killer robot dogs, which are getting spooky good. By the way, like you wanna talk something to be concerned about. They're gonna sell that to the police and the military, and then well, that's
yeah,
bad. That's bad. That's it. There's no more to that story. It's actually just bad to give that sort of technology to anybody generally.
yeah.
But like I'm not.
Here's my robot dog. It's got lasers attached to it, and it jumps 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, it's like, oh great,
Awesome!
cool,
Can't wait for my next traffic stop.
yeah. You have 20 seconds to comply.
Oh,
Yeah,
RoboCop is not out of the question.
RoboCop, as long as it's being controlled by somebody or like whatever, sure, absolutely, that's in the cars. But I'm telling everybody listening right now, you don't have to worry about artificial intelligence getting a lot better. Basically, I'm not saying it won't happen, but the breakthrough required for things to meaningfully move forward beyond what we have right now is so far beyond what we can fucking do.
I'm gonna clip that and just save it for the day the
Great,
AI takes over.
great.
And
Great. If it's in 2 years or 5 years or 35 years, that's fine. I will eat my hat because there will be no other food and civilization will have collapsed. Sure.
yeah, the elites will have bailed on the planet. They live on Elysium now. Yeah. Whatever.
Rotten bastards.
It's not worth worrying about.
No.
Just enjoy your life. Go play Hellblade.
Yeah. Play Hellblade, play Animal Well.
No, play V Rising probably. Maybe Paper Mario.
Yeah, play V Rising. Play Paper Mario.
Home
Ooh,
Safety Hotline.
Yeah. Also, Dragon Quest Plus, which is a fan game that expands the first Dragon Quest. You can get on PC. Play that. That's cool. It's any excuse to play Dragon Quest again, I'll take.
Huh.
Yeah, that one's good.
Made an
Yeah.
RPG Maker. Interesting.
He's good.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Enjoy video games. Don't think about AI.
No.
And have a good time out there. Enjoy this end of May, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like Rhett, go celebrate that the Vancouver Canucks have been eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yes.
Yes, baby. Oh God.
Well, now I gotta go. I gotta go. Maybe
Tears in my eye.
shed a single tear.
Yeah.
That will
all
fall
right.
into the Stanley Cup that Quinn Hughes is holding above his head.
Blame EA. Blame EA.
I'm not opposed to that. That sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Press X the podcast. Out.
Have a good night, y'all.